let's take a look at AutoTune 7's graphical mode, which offers surgically precise pitch correction as an offline process. This section at the top of graphical mode is the same one found in automatic mode. Refer to the AutoTune 7 Auto Mode Tour for info on this section. I will call out any graph mode specific functions during this tour. To access graphical mode, or graph mode for short, click the graph mode button. This main section is the pitch graph display. It is where audio gets tracked into graph mode and where graph mode pitch editing takes place. Notes are displayed on the vertical axis, which can be scrolled up or down, and zoomed in or out. Pitch reference lines are shown across the pitch graph display. When major or minor scales are selected in the Scale menu, notes outside the selected scale will have blue lines and notes inside the scale will have gray lines. You can also choose Show Lanes, which replaces note lines with lanes. These are great when working with note objects. Time is displayed on the horizontal axis. Scroll to see different parts of the audio in time. You're not actually moving any of the audio, just what's visible inside the pitch graph display. Time is shown either in seconds or bars and beats, based on your settings in the Time Display section. To track audio into graph mode, click the Track Pitch button. It will flash to show it's ready to receive audio. Then just play in the audio using your DAW's transport controls. The red curves you see on top of the waveform show pitches detected by AutoTune during the tracking process. Graph mode has editing tools located above the pitch graph display. There are 3 drawing tools: the Line tool, the Curve tool, and the Note tool. There are also 2 editing tools: the Arrow tool, which is a multi-purpose tool that can edit and move correction objects, and the Scissors tool, which cuts objects into smaller ones. The Magnifying Glass tool can be used to zoom in or out. Hold down Control or Command on your keyboard while clicking to zoom out with this tool. The I-Beam tool selects a group of objects for editing. The Hand tool moves what's visible inside the pitch graph display. The Undo and Redo buttons undo or redo your pitch edits. Clear All clears all edits and the tracked audio. The Snap to Note button snaps note objects when moving them and also snaps line objects to notes when drawing line objects. To the right of the graph mode tools are buttons for selecting all correction objects and cutting, copying, and pasting correction objects. Beneath the pitch graph display is the envelope graph, which shows the entire tracked waveform when the All button is selected. When Tie is selected, the envelope graph mirrors what is shown in the pitch graph display. Beneath the envelope graph are some important buttons for creating correction objects. The Make Curve button creates blue curve objects on top of the red input pitch curves. These can then be moved and edited using the Arrow tool. The Import Auto button creates blue curve objects based on the key and scale settings at the top of graph mode, as well as the settings established in Auto mode. The Make Notes button creates note objects based on the key and scale settings at the top of graph mode. The Number of Note Objects knob changes how many note objects AutoTune creates based on detected pitches and pitch transitions. Correction objects can also be created via MIDI. The MIDI data must be sent to AutoTune during tracking. MIDI note data is shown inside the pitch graph display as red squares or rectangles when the Show MIDI button is turned on. Click the Make Notes from MIDI button to create note objects based on MIDI notes tracked into graph mode. One of the things that makes graphical mode so powerful is that each correction object can have its own retune speed, natural vibrato control, and throat length adjustment. Just like in auto mode, formant correction must be turned on before the per object throat length control is available. Selected objects can be nudged up or down using these nudge buttons. And information about the various pitches along with the cursor time position can be found here. Green output pitch curves show the final output pitch. These curves can be shown or hidden if assigned to a key on your keyboard.